here is some things that you can do in Excel. When you have a large data set, you can use Excel for calculations. Okay, so obviously you would probably have more than this. I just took my last 10 transactions from my Apple Wallet, and I just typed in those numbers in each cell. You just type in the number and hit enter. Okay. In a blank cell, what are some things that we can do? Okay, so I'm going to do the average in this cell. So go to a blank cell, click Formulas, More, Statistical, Average, and you just highlight the numbers, drag and highlight, and click OK. Okay, so that is an easy way you can calculate the average of a set of numbers. Okay, other formulas that you might need is to find a standard deviation. Now there's two types of standard deviation. If you used this in a class in the future, they will tell you there's one for a sample and one for a population. You usually have a sample. So more functions, statistical, standard deviation .s. Okay, we want to highlight our numbers. Okay, that's for a sample, and click OK. We can also find the median, which is the middle number. Okay, sometimes you hear about that in real estate or income. They'll say, what is the median income for a company? And that means if you rank them in order, the middle one. So more statistical, median. Okay, you got your numbers A through 10 that you highlight, and OK. Okay, it's a good idea if you do calculations to label them so you know what's what. Okay, now the mode is the most often number. I don't think I have any repeats here. Okay, auto sum. Okay, auto sum, if you click in a blank cell and under home, we have this auto sum button. Okay, now it's going to guess what you want. So A1 to A10, that means that's adding up the total, so sum. Now sometimes I like to put a box around things. Okay, a thick outside border. Okay, so those are my numbers, and this tells me if I add up all the numbers, that's their total. You can also sort numbers. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to cut and paste this. Okay, now it still has the right formulas. The reason I did that is I want to sort these numbers. Okay, you can sort things alphabetically or sort them by numbers. I want to sort these by numbers. So sort and filter, smallest to largest. Now expand the selection. What does that mean? Each of these things are paired with what category? So the 4494 represents shopping. 21 is food. 1176 was food. So I want to make sure the number is still paired correctly with its category. So you want to keep that on expand. So sort. Okay. Now it didn't do anything to the numbers because it's the same numbers. Okay, the average and stuff. All that did was put them little to big. Okay. You can also use min and max in your formulas. Okay, I'll put it here. Minimum means the smallest number. If you don't want to sort, you just want it to quickly find the minimum number. Formulas, more statistical. Minimum of what's in a 1 to 10. Okay, so that's the smallest transaction. Maximum, more statistical. Max, a 1 to 10. Okay, you always want to be in a blank cell. Fill down is a good thing. Oh wait, I skipped. Let's say calendar dates. Okay, I've put in some dates right here. These are actually some birthdays in my family. If you type equals text, open parentheses, okay, D1 represents where the date is, comma, quotes, D, end quotes, close. That will tell you what day of the week it is, okay? Now, it always assumes the current year, okay? If I click Friday, hold down my mouse and fill down, click Home, Fill Down. Notice it will do the same formula. Okay, look at E2. It's doing the date that goes with what's in D2, which was January 25th. Okay, so this one, December 12th, that's my birthday, so that tells me my birthday will be on a Tuesday, upcoming this year. Upcoming July 10th, that's my son's birthday. That tells me it will be on a Monday in 2023. Okay. You could also use fill down to finish a formula. Let's say I want a row of numbers that is just 1 through 10. Okay. If I say that this cell is G1 plus 1, if I fill down, that will continue adding 1 all the way down. Okay. Another cool function is count if. Okay, let's say I want to know how many categories are shopping and grocery. Okay, so if I type equal in a blank cell, I type shopping in a blank cell equals count if, open parentheses, what you want to count, where you want to count. Okay, I want to count B1 through B10, and I want to count how many cells have shopping. Okay. The next one is how many cells have food and how many cells have grocery. Okay, so that tells me how many, out of those 10, how many were in each of those categories. Okay. Another cool thing to do is use, let's say I want to know how many transactions are less than $10. Okay. I can go to formulas, more, statistical, count, not count, count if. Count if I want to count in A1 to A10. The criteria is less than 10. Okay, okay, so 2 transactions were less than $10. Okay, now some graphing things that you can do. A pie graph, if you highlight shopping, food, grocery, and the numbers, insert, recommended charts, all charts, pie. Now you can do these cool 3D ones, okay? I like this 3D one. And click OK. Now I also like to do some other things. If you click this plus sign or add chart elements at the top, okay, we can see also we have some formatting things that you can go ahead and highlight. Okay, there has the labels. Okay, we've got the percents with the labels. Okay, or you can just have the names. Okay, I like the percents. Okay, I also like the legends. You can do the legends different ways. Okay, right, top, left, bottom, more options. Okay. different options right here that you can do. Okay. This is what I really like, and that is where you have the numbers and the labels in there. Okay. You have to be careful. Some people do not see colors, and so having the words there instead of just the colors is helpful. Okay. You can also change the title. Okay. You can say transactions or something like that. Okay. I'm going to open another sheet now, and that is this real estate data. And show you some other things that we can do in Excel. Okay, so this is a bunch of data that has area East South Central, which is our area. We can see Mississippi and Tennessee here. Some counties, the state, listing price, price per square foot, and square feet. These are some houses in our area. Okay, let's say we want to see how square feet and listing price are related. Now, each row is a specific house. So this first row tells us Autauga, however you pronounce that, in Alabama, a house is 2468 square feet and lists for $289,800. Okay, so we can make what's called a scatter plot when we have paired data. Now the first thing I'm going to do, I just want to know about square feet and list price. So I'm going to delete the region, state, county, and I'm not going to use dollars per square foot this. Okay. Now, what is important is when you're showing a relationship between two variables, your first column needs to be the variable that affects something else. Okay. How big a house is, square feet, affects its price. Okay. So I want this square feet to be the first column. So I can just click A and highlight that whole column. Cut. Click in C1 and click paste. Okay. Now what I do is highlight all of these numbers. Click Insert, Recommended Charts, All Charts. Okay, we've got XY Scatter. Okay, and this is the one we want. Okay, you can drag the corners to make it bigger. Okay, each dot represents a house. If you hover over it, it will tell you the information for this. So this house has 2372 square feet and lists for $167,700. Okay. Now let's make this have some axis titles. Okay, click axis titles, the arrow. Okay, we're going to have the primary horizontal and vertical. So double click in here, backspace. This is square feet. Double click it in this box, backspace. This is list price. Okay. And you could call these houses in the East, South, Central region or something like that. Okay. Other things that you might need to do when you are doing, this is called a scatter plot. Sometimes you need to make a prediction equation, and that would be under plus trend line. Okay. Now what that does, this prediction equation, you can use to find what you would predict a house to list at. Okay. So right here, this good point right here is on the axis of $400,000, and it's pretty much in the middle of 3 and 4,000. So a house that's 3,500 square feet, we should probably list it at 400,000. Okay, see how it aligns nicely with the data? What does this mean? What happens as square feet get bigger? Price gets bigger. Okay, bigger houses are going to cost more. Other things you might have to do in future classes, click on more options. These two things, equation and R squared. Okay. The equation is the equation of that line that's drawn. R squared tells you how good this model is. It tells you the amount of variation in price is due to just the square feet. Okay, so we can see 0.9, that's 90%. That means that's a really good model. Okay, and also you use R. R is just the square root of R, and that tells you how good this correlation is. How good is the correlation between square feet and list price? So we can see a lot of the list price is a factor of square feet. Of course, we know in the real world, location, condition of the house, all of those things affect the list price. And that's some things you can do in Excel that you will use later in your coursework. And that's the end.